Hey guys, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I just sent out the new beta today, beta x10, which is one of the final betas for the Makulu Aero edition. We are getting so close to release now. I've set the release date for the 25th, which still gives me about 12 more days, for any last minute bugs that might pop up. But at this point in time, it's running so stable that literally there's almost nothing to report. Days go by, and I ask the testers. I post on tester forum and I say, what's going on? Nobody's replying back. Are you guys like AWOL? What's going on? Aren't you testing? And they simply reply, no, they've been testing. There's just nothing to report. So it's running very, very stable at this point in time. And I thought I'd do another little overview, since there have been a couple of changes, mostly back-end stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd do a little bit more of overview video, and also show maybe a little bit more detail. So the first thing is this little floating window that I've put over to the side here. The first time you boot up, there were a lot of people, when I made the Kodi Media Center video a few days ago, people were going on about the legality of it, and saying it's illegal in some countries, illegal in other countries, and so some people would want it, others wouldn't, and Kodi doesn't allow people to ship add-ons, blah, 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 blah. So, easy solution. The first time after you've installed Makulu, the first time you boot up, you'll get this little window, and it will actually literally tell you that in some countries it is illegal to watch movies and series through Kodi add-ons. Please make sure if the add-ons are allowed to be used in your country. Makulu takes no responsibility for your actions using any Kodi add-ons. If you are allowed, then it is highly recommended to install them. Okay, and that's self-explanatory because they greatly make a big difference. I mean, they, as you can read on the next window, it says installing Kodi Media Center add-ons will greatly enhance your media streaming experience in MakuluLinux. Do you want to install them? Yes or no? Okay, so you get the option. If you want to install them, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. You can just say yes or no. That way I solve the problem, allowing the users that want to install them. The ones that aren't allowed to or don't want them can simply say no. In my case, I am, and even if I wasn't, I really couldn't give a damn. So I'm going to say yes. Okay, and they aren't very big, so it's very quick. Kodi Media Center add-ons installed. Okay, so that's it. That solves that little problem for everybody that kind of went a little overboard worrying about that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, so next, just want to show off the system information. People ask me what all the info was. So yeah, it's MakuluLinux 10 Aero edition. It's a 64-bit. You need a 64-bit capable CPU to install it, but it is multi-architecture. Therefore, you can run on 64. You can run 64-bit software, and you can also run 32-bit software. Okay, so you're not limited to only 64-bit software. If your favorite app or one of your favorite apps is only a 32-bit app, it will run in Makulu without any problems. The Cinnamon version is 2.6.13. Okay. The Linux kernel is 3.13.0-58. Okay, you can upgrade the kernel. You can even install your own kernels if you want. That's just the kernel that it comes with. Okay. Okay, and then just the rest of the specs are from VirtualBox. Okay, so that's the system information. Right. Some of the changes. Well, there were a lot of changes because I'm really in the polishing phase now, just polishing and touching up everything. So probably the biggest changes front end would probably be themes. I've refined the theme selection a lot. I've made it neater, polished that up, and that is clearly visible for anybody who's ran this edition before, or actually watched closely on the theming section. You'll probably notice this. If I go open up the different options, like the border windows, everything's now nicely grouped. The Aero. Because, well, the default is Aero gray, it's the cloudy gray borders, but you can easily switch to white, blue, or black. There's the white borders, the blue, which is what default Windows 7 comes with, and there's the black, Aero black, okay, the group gray is selected by default. So you've got the Aero options nicely grouped up at the top. Below that you've got the Vista options, also nicely grouped. And you've got the Windows 10 options, that comes in also a bunch of different colors, nice flavors. The Windows 10 options are also nicely grouped. And I've expanded on the color ratio there. I mean, previously it was just black and white. Now you've got blue, pink, red, orange, green, and yellow. So the guys that want to run the Windows 10 theme, you've got more options. That's nice. I've also included the old Windows 3.1 border themes. I know that's really old, but you never know if somebody likes that look. You get a whole bunch of Windows 8 ones. You get the Windows Classic, of course, and then you get the XP Blue, the XP Green, XP Pink, and the XP Silver. Okay, so you get all the different versions of Windows just about at your fingertips. You can easily just switch between borders. The same with the icon set. Okay, I've refined that as well. You've got the 10, 7, the 8, the Blue, the Classic, the Vista, and even the XP icons, as you can see there. If you open up a window, File Manager, you can actually see the different icon sets here. I'll just flip through them quickly. There's the Windows 10, 7, 8. Hold on, there's 8. There's Blue. There's the Classic. And the default Blue Vista. I really like those. And of course the XP. So I'll just switch back to the Blue Vista Classic. Okay, then you've got a whole bunch of control themes as well. And also different versions. So you can literally match the classic borders with the classic icons with the classic control themes and the classic shell, or you can mix and match it as you want. As you can see, the default theme here is the Aero gray window borders, the Vista icons, the Windows 10 control set, and the Aero desktop shell theme. The shell themes as well, they've also been refined nicely into just so that you can mix and match all of those. But you've got a lot of theming options here. I mean, if you like Windows 8, you can literally just select, where is it now? There, Windows 8. You can go to the, you can go to the Windows 8 icon set, and you can go here, Windows 8. Which one? The Windows 8. There we go, Windows 8 Blue. You can very much make your system look like Windows 8 quite easily, and you've got the Metro looking menu here as well. So yeah, you can do the same with XP, for example. Let's go to XP Blue, set the icons to Windows XP, set the control themes to Windows XP, set the shell theme to Windows XP. Now you've got a very Windows XP look, So yeah, you can mix and match and play with that. By default, I've got a mixture of themes here, but there is a very nice selection of themes available. So that's really nice. You can kind of set the look and feel that you want on your Linux desktop. Okay, so that's themes. I've left a whole bunch of stuff open here that I kind of want to go over. Okay, so the next thing I want to show off is the office environment. Now, the reason I want to show this is I'm sure there's quite a lot of people out there that's never used WPS Office before. They have no clue what it's about, blah, 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 blah. Or there's guys that are new to Linux and really don't know much about it. Okay, so when you open up Office, you'll notice straight away that it looks a lot like Microsoft Office. WPS is virtually like a Linux clone of Microsoft Office. Although you get a Windows version, Android version, I think an iOS version as well. It's cross-platform, which is nice. Fully compatible with, if you open here, you go to the file format, you'll see it's fully compatible with Microsoft Office. It can save in Microsoft Office formats as well. So that's really nice. Coming over from like a Windows environment, You can just dive right in using Office. When you open it up, you'll get all these nice online templates. There's a lot of them, and you can click on all templates, and then there's even more. There, view all templates. It expands on that. So you can literally go to, like, let's see, meeting minutes or whatever. You can go to that template, preview it, download it, and use it, obviously. I'm going to go to new blank document. Let's click on new blank document. There we go. And as you can see, everything opens up now. So it's very much like the Microsoft Office environment. Insert pictures, shapes, tables, word, art, text box, blah, 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 blah. Page layout, references, review, view, section. So if you were used to using Microsoft Office, this is very, very, very similar. I mean, you'll feel right at home. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail with it. I just wanted to point that out, that from an office environment point of view, Makulu is already pre-set up for you. You've got your presentation, which is a lot like PowerPoint. You've got spreadsheets, which is like Excel, and you've got Writer, which is like Word. So you've covered all three bases there. And you've got a multi-format document viewer. You can view PDF files, XPS files, TIF files, RTF files, whatever. It's a multi-format document viewer. So with just these 4 icons, you've got your whole Office environment covered. You can open up just about any format you want. You can edit and go crazy. Except for PDFs are usually locked, but that's in Linux as well. And then, of course, you can do your PowerPoint, your spreadsheets, and your Word files, with real ease. So for the average user, all the Office power is right there, and it's included in Makulu already. You don't have to worry about that, okay? The next thing I want to sort of go over, just glance over quickly, is the graphic options, There are a couple of items that you'll see here that probably, I don't know if people are familiar with Pinter, MyPaint, and Nomax, but Pinter is like a Microsoft Paint, but on speed, It's got a lot of extra features. It's got all the default basic features that Microsoft Paint, for example, has, but it also has a lot of effects, adjustments, layers, image manipulations, and just a whole bunch of extra features. It's almost like a very low-end novice version of Photoshop. It's got a lot of the basic effects and stuff that Photoshop offers. It's nowhere near as complex as Photoshop or as feature-rich as Photoshop, not by a clear mile. But it does have a lot of the basic features, which is quite nice, So yeah, for image editing, it's brilliant, very, very awesome. So that's Pinter, which is the default image editor in Makulu, okay? And then, of course, you get MyPaint, which is more of a sketching app, okay? So like sketch artists and guys that like to play with this kind of thing, brushes and stuff, they will really love this. And people that even have kids, because kids love to play, you can, for hours on end, they'll sit here and draw stuff on your PC, keep them busy or whatever. But whatever the reason is that you'll like it, the fact is that you have this included in Makulu. Okay, so by default, you've got a nice little sketchpad kind of app, which is pretty awesome. And it's not crazy big, so it was easy to include. And I thought it's a nice little touch, So yeah, that's MyPaint, also included in MakuluLinux. Okay. Then I wanted to go over before I get to Software Center, let me just go here to an actual image. Okay. You can edit images straight away by just right-clicking and going Open with Pinter. You can just do that, and you'll see it will pop up, and you can just edit your image in the image editor. So I know a lot of Linux edition, there's always a problem to do that, but yeah, you can just open with Pinter very, very quick. The default image viewer here is Nomax, and I like it because, sorry man, everything's a little slow because in the background I'm uploading the newest beta. and I'm also inside a virtual machine, and I've got like a million things open here that I want to show, so it does slow the system down. If all of this is closed, everything flies within a second. So don't look at the speed right now. Anyway, Nomax is a really cool little image editor because it's got some really nice advanced features for such a little editor. Okay, firstly, you can flip through the images, just by we're using the arrows, or the arrows on your actual computer. You can just left, right, flip through them, and you can zoom in and out on an image really nicely by using the up and down key, which I thought was really nice, little brilliant little feature. Just being able to zoom in on an image, I mean, like really zoom in. So I really like that feature. And of course, double clicking will make it full screen. You can just flip through images full screen. And then it's also got some synchronizing tools. I've never really used it, so I don't really know much about the synchronizing. But you've got remote tools, you've got synchronized tools, send image. I'm assuming it will send it online somewhere. Sync all actions. I haven't really played with this much, but the features are there. Okay, you've also got image manipulation. Just some other cool stuff here. You've also got, where did I see it? I've used it once or twice. Yeah, convert to grayscale. That's probably a feature that I use a lot in the image editor, image viewer. Not a lot of image viewers come out with this. You usually have to go to like GIMP or something to convert the image to grayscale, but here you can do it right inside your image viewer, which I thought was really awesome. Really, really awesome feature. Of course, you can resize and crop and flip and blah blah blah, auto adjust the colors. So it's got some really nice features for such a small little basic image viewer. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. And double clicking an image will open it up straight in that image viewer. Right, so with that out of the way, let's move on to the software center. Now, the software manager looks very much like the Mint one. It's not exactly the Mint one, but it is based on it. Okay, so it does not require you to create an online account or anything like that. But what I did want to point out was, unlike the previous versions of Makulu that came out, I think the last version that came out was just over 50,000 packages that were available, 53,000 or just under that. This new version supports or has 74,000 packages available. Okay, so right at your fingertips, you have access to 74,000 packages. Okay, and as you can see, the categories actually break down how many packages in each category, as you can see there. But that is a lot of, it's about 23,000 additional packages from the previous builds. Okay, so that's really, really, really cool. Chances are that if you're looking for software, you'll find it without needing to add anything, without having to add repos or anything like that. So really, 74,000 packages. That's no small amount. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Okay, something else I wanted to show, but I don't really think I'm actually going to be able to show it. There we go. Okay, so you can see all the file systems that MakuluLinux supports off the bat, out of the box. There we go. Okay. Oh, this thing's going to want a tile now. Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. So your BTRFS fully supported. XFAT only move and copy, but you can move and copy, which means you can move to and copy from. ext2, ext3, ext4 fully supported. F2FS, create, move, copy, all supported. FAT16, FAT32. HFS is create, shrink, move, copy. HFS plus, create, shrink, move, copy, check. JFS, create, grow, move, copy, check, label, UUID. Linux swap file, LVM2, apart from copy, label, and UID, everything else supported. So as you can see here, apart from UFS, XFS right at the bottom, and XFAT. Pretty much everything else is almost got full support. You've got a lot of file systems here. Razor file system, um, the HFS file system, the F2FS, the JFS, BTRFS, all fully supported just about. So there's a lot of support here, a lot of support for file systems in MakuluLinux. I just wanted to show that off as well, because I know not a lot of Linux editions that come out of the box have that kind of support. The next thing I want to go into is the virus scanner. Okay, I saw a comment the guy made the other day that literally he was pointing me to some kind of GUI to use for for clam AV, and I went and checked out the GUI. Obviously, being a curious, technical minded, obviously I'm going to look at all the options. But really, I found that GUI quite limited, because you have to basically point to the location of the antivirus and point to the location of this and that, and it's quite a thing to set up. And although this is not a really pretty GUI, it is feature rich. You've got the scheduler here. You can schedule to scan. You can rerun the antivirus setup wizard, preferences, submit a file for analysis, status of quarantined items, maintenance, empty quarantine folder. You can view the history, last scan information, clear the output. You can scan a file directory, recursive scan, home quick, home recursive, device. You can check for updates as well via the GUI, yeah, but that's just a GUI updates usually. So this is a nice little GUI. I mean, it's not the prettiest GUI I've ever seen, but it's very feature rich, much more than that other one that somebody pointed to me. Okay, so this is included in Makulu, so you can manage your antivirus quite well. And of course, you can right click any folder and you can just say scan for virus, and it will scan for viruses. So right in any folder, you can just right click any folder, scan for virus. I don't think it actually works on files, it's just for folders, but you can just right click, scan for virus, and it will scan all the files in the folder. You can also update your antivirus. You just click this little link, it will ask you for your password, and then it will just do a virus update. Okay, so you can keep your viruses up, your virus definitions up to date quite easily with that link right there. It's in the menu. It's over there, and I think it's under administration as well. No, not under administration. There, yeah, antivirus updater. Okay, the next is the firewall. So you are protected against viruses, and by default the firewall is turned on in MakuluLinux. Okay, so you're protected against viruses and your system is secured as well. You can set your rules as well. If you're one of those guys you prefer to set your own rules, you can just click on rules, add rules, and set your own rules. Otherwise, the default rules should just be default for everybody. Deny incoming, allow outgoing. You can change that to allow, hide, reject, whatever. But by default, the firewall is switched on, so your system is safe and secure. Okay, the other thing I wanted to go through was the update manager. The update manager is the default Mint update manager. If you go about Mint update 4932, okay, so it's the Mint update manager that I use. And I really like this update manager. The reason for that mostly is because of the levels. You can actually set the preferences of update levels. Okay, so you can set there to safe updates, non-safe updates, ignore those. Safe updates not tested but believed to be safe, those are almost never safe anyway. I don't trust those. So I've set the system already preset to pretty much safe and recommended, certified and recommended updates. Okay, so I shouldn't actually even be showing this window because everybody's going to go and play with it. But these are pretty much the safe and recommended updates. I wouldn't change those unless you want the newest of the newest. But then you also run a risk of how do I say this? Screwing up your system, because any unsafe updates that comes through could harm your system, and that's always a problem as well. Okay, so that's the update manager. It runs in the bottom bar here. Every 15 minutes it checks for updates, so you don't really need to worry about that too much. Okay, the package manager comes by default. It's installed by default. So that's quite nice. The guys that like to sort of search by package manager. Not everybody always uses a software manager. The package manager is installed by default. Okay, so that's pretty cool as well. And then I actually want to go to Kodi Media Center. I know I covered it in another video, but maybe some of the guys didn't really see it, so let's just open that again over there. The Kodi Media Center, okay, I've now left the add-ons on. I kind of clicked yes there. For those guys that use the add-ons pre-installed, you'll notice there's a Genesis little button on the front. The guys that don't will not have this button. Okay, the Genesis, which is there's quite a few mods in here. If I go to add-ons, you'll see the selection. There's iTunes podcasts, there's News Live, ESPN Sports, Fox News, Kids Place, Live Stream, MTV On Demand, Music Jukebox, NASA, Sci-Fi, TuneJet, Travel Channel, Vimeo, YouTube. Okay, so most of this is legal anyway. I think all of this is really legal except for Genesis. Because it's just news and sports and things. It's nothing, I don't think there's anything illegal about pretty much any of those channels. But the Genesis mod would probably be illegal in some countries. And the reason for that is it works very much like Popcorn Time, at least I think it does, where you can go and watch the latest movies, or any movie really, any TV shows, any movies. You can just kind of just go in there and just start watching, without paying, obviously. That's a given. And I don't have my VPN enabled now, so I won't be able to actually show it working. But I will go into some of the options here. So let's go to like most popular. Where am I now? I think I'm in movie series. Where do I go? Okay, let's go to movies and let's go most popular. And then it says that please wait. It's loading. Just give it a few seconds. I am also busy uploading in the background, so it will probably be a bit slow, but that's fine. I just needed to sort of go to the next window. There we go. It's showing the most popular movies at the moment. So the new Spectre, Star Wars, what's this, The Martian. Any of these, you can just click on it. Once you click on it, it will actually pop up a bunch of streams, and you select one. It will tell you, usually it tells you info of how many people are on the stream, blah, 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 blah. And you can just start watching right on your desktop. So I thought that was pretty cool, the fact that you can just watch movies out of the box. No need to configure anything, no need to install codecs, no need to do anything really. You just open up the Kodi Media Center, click on Genesis, select movies or TV shows your series, click on something, select a season or episode, and boom, off you go. You just watch it out of the box. So that will be nice for the guys that are allowed to use it. The guys that are not allowed to use it, well, there's not much I can do for you, so I'm sorry for your loss. But yeah, so anyway, so that pretty much covers just about all the major stuff that most people will be wondering about, some of the included software. I'm really not going to go and make the video 2 hours long explaining every little piece of app or every little thing that's installed on the system. I'll just skim over it. You got your calculator and files, obviously a file manager. You got LeafPad as your default, Notepad. You got Screenshot in there. Under games, you got a couple of nice little games you can use. Play on Linux Steam is there. ImageMagic's also installed. Under Internet, you've got quite a list here. You've got Claws as your default POP3 mail client, very nice. Google Chrome is the default web browser. The reason I use Chrome is, they've stopped Flash support for Linux altogether, and there are ways of still making Flash work in other browsers, but just so much trouble. With Chrome, it just works out of the box, it's integrated. I'm not a massive Chrome fan myself, but it really, as a guy that builds, it's just easier for me just to put Chrome in. You can always replace it with your personal favorite, or what I would actually suggest you do is not remove Chrome. If you prefer Opera or Firefox, just install those as well on top, as well, and just set them as default, but keep Chrome, because you're going to probably run into Flash problems, and if you do, Chrome is always there. FlareGet is the default download manager. Google Music Manager, very, very awesome. You can sync with the Google Cloud, so you can like upload music to the cloud, download from the cloud, and of course with the new Vola player, you can play music directly from the cloud, which is pretty awesome. Live Relay is linked to the Makulu website, so if you actually open that up, you can get all your latest Makulu news. Okay, just give it a minute, it's just syncing there. I'm not actually sure this will work without my VPN. There we go. So every time there's some kind of news, it will actually pop up a little notification to say there's something on the website to read, blah 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 blah. So that's nice. Anyway, and then you've got MegaSync, which gives you 50 gigs of free online storage, so you can use that. And then you've got Pigeon, Qubit Torrents, Team Viewers also on there. That's pretty cool. Of course, I've covered Office. You've got Kodi Media Center. You've got Aero, Radio Tray, nice little app as well. Rhythmbox, SM Player. You've got BleachBit to clean your system. You've got a nice little driver manager. So yeah, Riva and Wi-Fi to include. There's quite a lot of Wi-Fi tools in here. The Wi-Fi guys will discover that soon enough. And of course the Makulu constructor, but I'll have to do a video on that on its own sometime. The start menu is very nice. You've got your favorites, you've got your accessible items over here, and then of course you've got your apps and your categories. Okay, so that pretty much covers the nice little overview. Something I wanted to mention was that with this edition, I know the file size is 2 gigabytes, but that couldn't be helped because I really wanted people to have proper offline support for this version. I didn't want people to struggle. So pre-installed is 357 language packs. So you can literally change language to almost any language anywhere in the world, and you don't need an internet connection to do it. You can simply change language via the language tool in system settings, apply, reboot, and that's it. Nothing else to do. So that's pretty awesome. You've also got a massive, and when I say massive, I mean really massive driver selection, okay? All pre-installed, okay? So both the language packs and the drivers take an insane amount of space. But anyway, better to have it, than not have it, because you can plug in any USB stick, you can plug in a printer, even your Wi-Fi cards and your sound drivers and your graphic drivers. It will pretty much detect almost everything that, all the common stuff. I've got a GeForce GT 640 on the laptop, and the other day I was sort of just running Driver Manager just to see what it all picks up, and it offered me 6 different drivers for my card. 6, I'll say it again, 6 different drivers via Driver Manager for my card. It's the most I've ever seen actually in a Linux environment, where it actually, usually it pops up, it'll give you 1 or 2, kind of options. 6, these were 6 different drivers available for my card. So there's a massive driver selection all at your fingertips, which is really great. And it's those little things that the guys will really appreciate in the long run. Just being able to put it on a friend's laptop and he speaks another language or whatever, and just being able to just do it so easily. Or when you get home, you install it, and usually you have to struggle with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or whatever. And with Makulu, it will just work out of the box. That guys will really appreciate that. It also has full Bluetooth support as well as A2DP support, so that's pretty cool too. So that pretty much covers this review. One other thing, there's full VPN support as well. You can go to network settings and just add VPN via there, or network connections, that's where I wanted to go. Add and just select VPN there, full open VPN support, point-to-point tunneling support, and or you can just import from say VPN configuration. So you have a really well built system. It runs really stable, and it's actually really fast. I just had 1,000 things open most of this video, and I'm in VirtualBox, but on actual hardware this flies. Even the testers, they can, if you've spoken to any of them, they'll tell you how fast it really runs. So you've got a really well balanced system here. For the average user, everything's pre-installed that he could probably possibly mostly use anyway. and the guys will really like this. I'm very sure of it. You've even got a nice selection of wallpapers as well, a nice selection of themes, and you know, there is a slim build that I'm making as well, a slim edition. This normal build will be going live on the 25th of November. The slim version I'm hoping to have live the same day. If not, it will probably be live within a few days later or a week or two later. The slim version has all of the same backend, same driver support, same language support, but minus about 98% of the software. It's really a bare bone, you know, allows the guys to sort of install their own apps, their own preferences of software, basically. The theme selection, the wallpaper selection, and all of the backend stuff's the same as the normal edition. It's really just mostly the software and stuff where the guys can just sort of install what they want. So it's basically a bare bone of this version here. Anyway, so that concludes this video. This was the Beta X10. There may still be one or two before release date, depending on if there any bugs do pop up. But at this point in time, it's running so well, I really don't expect anything to still, you know, uh, that needs any kind of fixing. So this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you guys soon. Cheers.